Well, traveling is getting somewhere, so I guess whether it's deep inside you or very far in the world from the place where you are, somewhere traveling is finding something you don't know yet, I think. It's yes, you can travel through books. That's why we're here. We can travel because of books. That's what I'm doing here. And you can travel through the eyes of other people and through the lives of other people. And that's actually the most important kind of travel. And I think we don't practice that one that much lately. We don't listen to others and we don't travel through the life of others. And that's maybe the most important travel of all, is that we find other people and travel through their path or follow their path or go side by side with other people. I think that's the most important travel, and it's both physical, mental, and how do you call, emotional and existential. That's the most interesting travel. And it's a very special time to say that, because one of my biggest fears, I do see myself as a European, and I'm actually one of the first results of all this European policy of allowing us all to travel and to have no borders. And now we seem to be going back to this idea that there's people who are more allowed to do some things than others, which is a very sad and un-European idea about the world. But one of my biggest fears, because I lived for a very long time in Belgium and I have a daughter who's half Belgian, half Portuguese, it's one of my biggest fears is if the borders, all of a sudden, our countries don't get along for some reason. And now with the confinement, with the first confinement, that actually happened briefly, so the borders were closed. And very soon, the co-parenting and the idea that you had families that were somewhere else was immediately brought as an issue. But there was this fear all of a sudden that you have to choose which side are you, because I travel a lot for work and I could not be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So this idea of actually what's strange is the idea that there are borders and not the idea that there are no borders. So I do feel, well, I fall for and I go totally for an idea of a European idea, but that the whole world should fall into that idea of European and not this kind of, again, European as in a kind of physical idea of a continent, but as an idea, a moral idea and an ethical idea and a philosophical idea that we all can travel anywhere and everywhere, because it's quite striking that goods, and the word is funny, so products, objects can travel, and they went on traveling. There was not much change. They just got more expensive, and for some materials things slowed down, but goods could travel, but people could not travel. And that should make us think, what does that mean? Because I think we are travelers as a basic condition. And if we stop traveling, we stop thinking the way we think. So I think these are exciting and dangerous times. I find these meetings very important, because we meet people from everywhere with different approaches to literature and also to the world, and that live in completely different circumstances than ours. And I think it's very important, this, especially with writers, you know, we can live all our lives without meeting anybody who reads us, and without meeting other writers. We don't need each other in that sense. And it's very important because it's a community, and it's a community that gives voice to our times. And I think it's a big responsibility to give voice to the voiceless in a way, because we have an incredible tool in our hands. I think it's not about being a gift, it's about having a mission. And I think once you understand that you write and you are able to publish and you are able to come to Vienna to a European festival, to talk about what you think about the world. It's a huge responsibility. So having that plus 20, plus 30 people every year, then that's actually where things can change, because we can trade experiences and approaches and actually learn and go back and be better. That's another big purpose of traveling. It's actually to meet people who actually can make you realize you can do better in a certain way. So it's definitely a very needed event.